We knew it was coming when Aston Martin first revealed the unbelievable Valkyrie hypercar to the world back in March. The automaker said it would build 150 for the street and 25 exclusively for the track. If you're already sitting down, stay there. If you're walking down a street checking this out on your phone, don't blame us if you walk into a pole. Say hello to the 25, known hereafter as the Aston Martin Valkyrie AMR Pro. As promised, this extreme version of the already extreme Valkyrie is designed solely for the racetrack, and if the figures from Aston Martin are indeed accurate, that's absolutely where this monster should stay. Complete details haven't been released, but the automaker says a bevy of aerodynamic changes combined with an aggressive weight loss program and power boost will enable the AMR Pro to hit 250 miles per hour on straights and sustain 3.3 gs during cornering. When it's time to stop, the hypercar will pull 3.5 gs under hard braking thanks to upgraded F1-inspired carbon brakes. We'll say this again, sustain over 3 gs in corners and 3.5 gs under braking. That's not quite F1 territory, but it's right up there with LMP cars. We do have some information on how Aston Martin will pull this off. The AMR Pro will wear much larger wings both front and rear, while also utilizing revised active aerodynamic control strategies to make the car stick to the ground like industrial-strength Velcro. Further helping the cause will be an extreme weight reduction that starts with the entire body itself, which will use a lighter carbon fiber construction. Numerous suspension components will get carbon fiber replacements. Polycarbonate windows will be installed, and luxury items, such as the heater and blower motor, will get the axe, along with the Valkyrie's infotainment system. It is, after all, a race car. Aston Martin is curiously silent on the power side of the equation, saying only that the 6.5-liter V12 will create more horsepower and torque courtesy of significant engine recalibration and modification of the emission control system. The electric portion of the Valkyrie AMR Pro's thrust will remain unchanged, but it will wear smaller 18-inch wheels shod with the same Michelin race rubber you'd find on an LMP1 car. With all these race-derived upgrades, Aston Martin says the Valkyrie AMR Pro will offer track performance to rival F1 cars. We're a bit skeptical on that claim. F1 drivers routinely hit 6 gs or more in corners, but there's no question this will be a hardcore performer requiring no small amount of skill to drive, let alone master. That's why every person who buys an AMR Pro will also receive a bevy of training, including simulator time and access to the same facilities used by Aston Martin, Red Bull Racing's F1 teams. Should the select group of AMR Pro owners then decide to exercise that training, the automaker will host a series of dedicated racing events at tracks for them around the world. In other words, Aston Martin isn't just selling a bonkers race car. It's selling a full-on racing experience that's about as close to Formula One as a person can get. As for the price, that's still a mystery and probably always will be. We'll go out on a limb and say it's expensive, very expensive. But it must be worth it, because Aston Martin says every single Valkyrie AMR Pro is already sold. Deliveries of this track car to end all track cars is scheduled to begin in 2020.